Deputy leader of Hezbollah was speaking as well. Naim Qassem said the group's fighters are ready should Israel launch a ground offensive. He went on to claim that Israel is ready for a long fight with Hezbollah despite a devastating few weeks for the Lebanese militant group, culminating with the killing of Hassan Nasrallah over the weekend.
سنواجه أي احتمال.
We are ready for any scenario. If Israel decides to launch a ground invasion, our forces, the forces of the resistance, will be ready on the ground. We will choose a Secretary General of the party shortly, and in accordance with the structures of the organization, designate a new chief to the post of leader.
Well, let's go live to Beirut then. Rawad Taha is our correspondent covering developments for us. Rawad, this was the first time we've heard from a senior official in Hezbollah publicly since the killing of Hassan Nasrallah. What did you make of the message today from Naim Qassem?
Now, Hezbollah supporters were waiting to hear from any official, whether the new Secretary General or the Deputy Secretary General of Nasrallah himself, Naim Qassem. We heard that speech today as around noontime delivered across different TV channels in Lebanon. What is important is the look and feel first of that speech. Now, we know for a fact that Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, used to deliver his speeches in a very well-organized manner with a backdrop, with a logo of the commemorating, for example, a specific leader with a picture behind him in high resolution. Now, this looked like something different. This looked like it's a video that was possibly shot in some sort of a house, in a place, in front of a closet, as we're seeing. So first, the aesthetics of this speech was very different, and that in itself is already telling. When it comes to the content of that speech in particular, it was mostly what everyone expected. Hezbollah is not backing off from the goals set by Hassan Nasrallah himself before his assassination. People were looking to see whether Hezbollah would be ready for a ceasefire after all the blows it took over the past 4 weeks, from the pagers attacks, the walkie-talkie attacks, the assassination of the entire command of the Ridwan force, as well as the assassination of Nasrallah himself. Yet Naim Qassem insisted that Hezbollah is there, it's there to fight, it's still defending Gaza, and it will, according to their own words, defend Lebanon. So no ceasefire from Hezbollah's end in the near future, at least according to what Naim Qassem, the deputy, has said, and that they are ready for any potential ground invasion into Lebanon. Now, whether Hezbollah is able to regroup as an organization, is it in a state of disarray? Is it organized enough to withhold any ground invasion, similar to what it did to a certain extent in the 2006 July War, the Second Lebanon War, is something that we need to question.
Okay, so that's the view then of Hezbollah today, of Naim Qassem, talking about the fact that that group is not interested at the moment in a ceasefire with Israel. I understand, though, there's been quite a different message today from top political leaders in Lebanon, including the Prime Minister Najib Mikati and the Speaker of Parliament, Nabi Berri.
Indeed, and in particular, what is very important is the stance that Nabi Berri, the Speaker of Parliament, has taken, given the fact that Nabi Berri has great mass support within the Shia population now, Hezbollah and the Amal movement, which the Speaker of Parliament, Nabi Berri, heads, both share some sort of an alliance and a grip on the Shia population in Lebanon. We've heard Naim Qassem saying that Hezbollah does not want a ceasefire, it's ready to fight this war. On the other hand, we saw that Speaker Berri said he is ready for a ceasefire, for full implementation of the 1701 UN resolution, to deploy the Lebanese army south of the Litani River, and that he himself and the Prime Minister, the caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati, are working to finding a sort of diplomatic solution. This is possibly the first time since the beginning of the conflict that we saw a divergence of positions between the official stance of the Lebanese government and Hezbollah. In the past, the Lebanese government stance was any de-escalation in the region should be global, thus de-escalation in Lebanon should be coupled with de-escalation in Gaza. What is different today is that Lebanese leaders, at least caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati, as long as Speaker of Parliament Birri, are potentially ready for some sort of a de-escalation on the Lebanese government end. They are ready to secure a deal with Israel, disregarding what's going on in Gaza and the potential of any ceasefire in Gaza. Now, is that possible without Hezbollah's approval? That is also a question.
Rawad Taha, live in Beirut. Thanks very much indeed.